Hello and welcome back to your Advanced Java Programming course. And in this video, we are going to scan the text file names and process the data. The first thing you should be aware of is that there is an error that occurs when you do not have the text file. The program does notice this and requires you to create a clause to prevent this error. For now, I'm going to show you the basic method to avoid this error, but you will learn how to handle this error more professionally in a later video. First, we must create the file scanner. So we type in scanner, sc file equals new scanner, new file, and the file's name is names.txt, and close with a semicolon. And this is where it notifies you of the error. To fix the error, just click on the light bulb, and then it says here add throws clause. This is the clause I mentioned earlier. This will add a small line of code over here that prevents the error. As I said before, we will handle this error more professionally by giving the user a message that tells them that the text file cannot be found. Now we've got to process the data in the text file. First, we must create a variable line for the line scanner to scan. So string line equals and give it a value of nothing for now. Before I close this line, I'm going to create two more variables that we're going to use to put the data in. As you may have seen in the text file, there are 3 tokens separated by hashtags, so we will have to change the delimiter accordingly. These 3 tokens are a name, a last name, and an age. So let's create variables for those 3 tokens. First, for the first name, give it a value of nothing. Second, for a second name, and also a value of nothing. And finally, an int age with a value of 0, and close with a semicolon. Now we create the while loop that we're going to use to scan through the text file. This is the while loop I've shown you before. While sc file dot has next. This loop will continue to run until there's nothing left in the text file to scan. And now we have to create the scanner that will scan the line. First, let's give the line a value. Line equals sc file dot next line. If our text file is in the right projects folder, line will now have been assigned a line from the text file, a name, hashtag, the last name, hashtag, and the age. So now we have to use the scanner to process that data. Scanner sc line equals new scanner in brackets line, and now we have to change the delimiter from the default white space to hashtag, close with a semicolon. Now let's assign our 3 variables their values. First equals sc line dot next, close with a semicolon. Second equals sc line dot next, close with a semicolon. And finally, age equals sc line dot next int, since it is an integer and not a string. And now we have assigned our 3 variables their values. What we have to do, since we've completed our methods, we have to now close the line scanner. And lastly, we need an output. So let's create our output line first, and now let's separate them using tab. It looks more neat in the final output. \t plus age. And that finishes our while loop. It has everything it needs to scan through the text file. So outside the while loop, we need to close the file scanner. sc file dot close brackets semicolon. And this should complete our program to scan through the text file, process the data into information, and display it neatly. So let's run the program to see the result. And as you can see, our program has worked perfectly. However, William Stevenson seems to have a much longer name than the others, so the data does change a bit when it comes to him. However, you can see the rest of the data is displayed neatly. And this concludes our practice using the file scanner. I do recommend creating your own experimental text files that you can use to scan, because the practice always helps in the end. In the next video, I'll show you how to write to a text file using the print writer.